gentlemen, please rise for the national anthems of Samoa and first South Africa, supported by the Severn Trent Choir.
Bright sunshine in the Midlands. These countries about to meet for the 4th World Cup in a row. Samoa twice quarter-finalists, but not for 20 years. And they will now lay down their cultural challenge. It is the Siva Tau. Its message, more a question really, and it's one particularly pertinent to the South Africans today. Are you ready for a battle? supporters for a first-class occasion in England's second city.
The world in union.
Well, Villa Park looks a picture in the dappled sunlight of a September afternoon. South Africa, twice winners in the days when the rugby team provided rather more by way of certainty for a country still finding its identity. Wayne Barnes, the referee, and Andre Pollard about to get this potentially seismic collision underway. Alongside me in the commentary box, Ben Kay.
Really important for South Africa that they maintain their discipline. Samoa, traditionally such an explosive side. South Africa can't get drawn into a battle where they give away a lot of penalties and give South Africa the momentum, but it's gone for them this time, and that is exactly the start they would have wanted. Victor Matfield straight over to Andre Pollard and said, don't think about going for the corner, let's get some points on the board, get settled in. Salasana Tuolangi gets taken back, and just look at those flooded green shirts. They can commit hard because they're near the opposition try line. They know there's not a danger of them breaking if they overcommit at the breakdown with numbers.
One of the 8 changes made by Heineke Meyer was at fly half. Duties have passed from Pat Lambie to Andre Pollard. And on a day when they're seeking a bit of certainty in their own minds, it's a good start for South Africa.
I mentioned the experience of Victor Matfield. He's been criticised with some of his performances coming into this tournament. But it's exactly that sort of experience you want, because now, having got those 3 points, this is when you're at your most vulnerable. When the opposition kick off back to you, South Africa have to get their clearance drill spot on, and then it will have been the perfect start for Heineke Meyer's men.
Mike Stanley's restart. Beneath it is Victor Matfield.
That's a ball. Say more.
And South Africa showing plenty of determination, power and intent.
Samoa are going to have to put someone in. They've already given away the penalty. They might as well finish it off now. They have done. Free shot.
Rui de Priya. Taken by the fullback who calls the mark. Tim Nanai Williams, but back will go.
Well, every Springbok fan in this ground suddenly breathe a sigh of collective relief. Look at this drive. Once Samoa choose to come out of that maul, it's not a flying wedge. South Africa can keep going because it was Samoa's decision to go out, and they could just walk up the field. And by not giving away another penalty and collapsing it, Samoa have lost another 20 metres. It's just been banged down into their 22, and now the Springboks have an opportunity to drive again.
Get your set up right.
Adrian Strauss winning his 50th cap today. Safely taken in by Matfield. Francois Lowe with the ball. De Priya. Dialende. De Priya inside to Adrian Strauss. What a hit that was from TJ Ioane. Skalkberger. Already the immensity of the physical collision apparent.
Stop. First knock on.
Go for the first knock on. Someone put in.
Wayne Barnes happy with Ioane's hit. It was the second one he'd put in those phase. Just wanted to check that the arm's around. Yes, he tries to wrap his arm round. That's absolutely fine. Although it's a shoulder collision, it's purely the size of the hit that knocked the ball carrier away from him. If you saw his arm, he followed through. He tried to wrap it around, but just the intensity of the collision.
Stability at every stage.
Perhaps of almost identical weight. Torreira. Alongside Strauss and Yanni Duplessis in the front row for South Africa.
Set! Just wait. Yes, please.
Foto Ali with the feed.
Ball's gone.
Trevor Annis. De Prayer round the back to meet him.
Back feet.
Lelo. And then Perez.
Play on.
Advantage here for Samoa.
Offside. Still played it, wouldn't deliver it,
Another
still
big
made
hit
contact.
coming in from Ioane. He's got to be really careful that A, he does wrap those arms, but B, he stays on his feet. I think referee Wayne Barnes giving him the benefit of the doubt there, but certainly in his ambition to fly in and clear the South Africans, he left his feet.
Much has been said and written about the inclusion of Jean de Villiers. He himself admitted he expected to be dropped after the defeat by Japan.
Good gap on that ball as well,
I think he's got enough credit in the bank for what he's achieved in his enormous number of caps to warrant his inclusion.
Samoa's hooker Matu'u. There's Ray Lilo. Foto Ali to Trevor Arness, the captain. Nanai Williams. Perez. Now Mike Stanley, the fly half.
Play on, stolen by Green too. Then one back by Blue.
Briefly in South African hands, but not for long. Talafo.
Big overlap for Samoa. If Foto Ali, he can release the backs now.
Stanley. Ioane inside to Tuilangi. Now Ken Piesi. TJ Ioane started this game like a man possessed, hurling himself into the contact area. Foto Ali. Paul Perez. Trying to brush off Scott Berger. You don't really do that. Penalty Samoa.
It's hugely impressive play from the Samoans. Their ability to hit through the middle, attack South Africa in their traditional strength, and leg drive and offload out of contact with the big forwards. And what that does is tie in extra green shirts who have to come in and defend in behind the gaps that have been created. Creates opportunities on the outside, and in Khan Foto Ali, they've got a halfback who can control the game and see those spaces and release the ball at exactly the right moment.
Well, Mike Stanley's is quite a story. Born in Auckland, brought up in Thurrock in Essex, and 18 months ago he was playing club rugby for Southend in National 3, London and the South East. It's a quantum leap to a Rugby World Cup. And a full house against the twice winners at Villa Park. Got there in the end. Three apiece. And Samoa responding to South Africa's early drive and verve.
The ball bounced after it had gone over the whitewash. Really good lead, late call from Alassana Tuilangi behind there. Perfect positioning. The second row's looking up into the sky. He's got no real way of knowing exactly where the line is. Just good teamwork there, which creates an attacking opportunity. If Census Johnson can do his job and keep that man, the beast, at bay, think that might be the reason that Census Johnston's playing. The Beast is such a powerful scrummager, and Johnston's the sort of prop that likes to lock out. He uses that enormous frame of his. Perenisi, the other option, a little bit more explosive as well, and potentially could have come across a guy that could have beaten him today. Perenisi will come on later and add a bit around the field.
This is a change that became known to the watching world only round about lunchtime. Census Johnston originally was named on the bench, replaced Perenisi, and when Samoa asked for the reasoning behind it,
fellas, I want you hitting about 6
effectively
inches
said
higher.
that they'd
Let's not
filled
start
in the
hitting down at
sheet
kick flat
wrongly
or
48
reverse.
hours ago. Whether you go with that or not, it is Census Johnston that's out there from the start
Same
today.
Oh, he's good. He's left of the mark. Crouch. Binds. Set. Yeah.
Penalty.
A really good scrum from the Samoans. Not necessarily throughout the ages been known as a team that puts that much emphasis on their scrummaging play, but they've always had powerful scrummagers, not just in the front row. The big boys there in the second row as well. Just got the impression that Tawera just goes a little bit early. Look at the South African, after it drops, those hips of his just go out towards the touchline, and it allows an opportunity for Samoa to go straight down towards the posts, and once they've gone, there's nothing the Springboks can do to recover, and no option for Wayne Barnes to give the penalty.
Mike Stanley is going to have a go from a considerable distance. Currently without a club. A couple of games for Ulster at the back end of last season. Distance isn't a problem. North's direction.
Not a bad shot window if you're without a club, is it? The start that the team he's driving at the moment have had will have boosted some of the interest in it, I'm sure. What a thrilling opening 12 minutes. Both sides starting probably how they would have wanted, but Samoa at the moment just got the momentum.
Kept the restart within bounds this time. Foto Ali. Stanley. Backfield up very quickly.
Hold.
Vili LaRue.
Line's good.
Tim Nanai-Williams, who can turn defence into attack as excitingly as any player.
Play on, tackle only. Nothing formed.
Census Johnston. Nanai-Williams.
Backwards. Ball went backwards.
Ken Pesey. LaRue calls for and gets the mark.
Nanai-Williams, real live wire. Brilliant communication between him and Khan Foto Alihi on the kick before the break. Foto Alihi telling him to take it, but ran a really good blocking line. And then as Nanai-Williams took it, the gap opened up. Just look at the acceleration from feet off the floor to full tilt in the blink of an eye.
Pretty good to me.
He's earned the tag, the excitement machine.
Who's in, fellas? Who's in? 6 man. 6 man.
Trevor Rayner stood at scrum half here for Samoa. Expect a little drive or a mini drive and a breakout.
There is the captain, Tamatu'u, and now it's Stanley. Oh, and an interception! Ball thrown straight into the arms of JP Peterson, who runs half the length of the pitch unopposed. Celebrating Springboks at Villa Park.
a poacher JP Peterson is. He stood his ground, he didn't panic when the pass didn't come immediately. Little mini drive, as I said. Hooker hits it up in midfield. Great ball by Foto Alihi, but here just needed a little bit more trajectory on it. Almost in two minds, Stanley, whether to throw the ball or throw the missed pass. He goes for the missed pass. There's not enough height on it, and just the control and relaxed running style. And exactly what the Springboks needed after a little bit of a scare in the last 10 minutes.
One of the comparative veterans, one of the World Cup winners of 2007. There were 7 of them in the starting 15 today, augmented by the younger brigade such as Pollard. He fails to add the extra 2.
That's the ball, isn't it? Stanley just has a little look at the defender opposite him, I think, to check whether he's managed to hold him. Unfortunately, maybe just took his concentration away slightly from the real danger on the outside, that man JP Peterson.
Matfield.
That's now a maul!
See a slightly different defence from Samoa this time after the last kick-off.
That's once!
Putting everyone in, forcing South Africa to kick.
Winger good.
Which De Pree does.
Not now. Yep. Line's yours. You keep on the line, please, for.
Corey De Pree making his 13th appearance at a Rugby World Cup.
Fellas, he's
His
come in, please.
72nd cap overall. And South Africa steal line-out ball. Skogberger running at Stanley. Running through Stanley. De Pree, there's an advantage here for the Springboks. Pollard, Dialende. Yanni du Plessis. Corey De Pree is trying to referee the game at the moment. The number of times he's turning around pleadingly to Wayne Barnes.
A really poor line out from Samoa against the man who, for the last 15 years or so, has been the best line-out forward in world rugby. You just can't afford to go up that slowly. If you're going to take him on, you've got to get in front of him and really get up in the air before he's got a chance to react.
No, he came in the ear. I've got more people talking to me than you, Joe.
Another chance for Andre Pollard.
It's a nice competition. It's a nice competition online. The camps are nice and big, so it makes it really easy.
Pollard, like so many of the South Africans now, juggling Super Rugby commitments with playing in Japan in the South African close season. To play for the Red Hurricanes. And Pollard stretching out South Africa's advantage.
Just in the phase after South Africa turned over that line out. Just interesting to note Peterson going very flat in the line and asking for the ball to be put in behind his opposite number, Alassana Tuolangi. Much bigger player against him, and I think Peterson fancies with his extra pace that Tuolangi might be a little bit slow to turn. Just a tactic to look out for as the game goes on.
Backfield. And Mullen.
That's now a maul!
Mullen guarding the ball at the back.
On that.
Became rather messy and ends in a South African penalty.
Change your binds. Swimming at the side. No, but you didn't. You change your binds. First that you're at the outside, and that was one. So if you just stay locked in there, that's fine. But when you move your arm, that's fine.
The referee just saying that he was in there, but he changed his mind. Sometimes hear the referees regarding describing it as swimming down the side. If you bound in and you're on the outside, you can't then release your bind and go again.
Strauss to Matfield. This time it's Francois Lowe. Lowe to Berger. Crunching tackle by TJ Ioane.
Lost forward, fellas.
Ball lost forward.
Not the first time we've said those words, is it? Such a presence, the big number 6.
It's okay,
all action. Scott Berger just looks up, tries to run on the outside line to attract extra defenders. But the low tackle's good on the inside, and the quality of the hit from Ioane, just dislodging the ball.
Let's go.
Scott Berger.
Perfect. That's one. Yeah, lovely.
Cap number 81. He's not amongst the 4 most capped South Africans of all time, but 3 of them are on the pitch at the moment.
What stopped a second? Okay, you set that distance, remember, so as long as you're not beyond
Amazing
that,
story that only a few months ago, really,
okay, let's start forward.
he was actually, some of his family were told to come down to the hospital because they didn't think he was going to make it through the night. And to be here playing in a Rugby World Cup, the Springboks aren't short of warriors in that team. And he's certainly at the forefront.
Struck down very seriously by bacterial meningitis.
Ball is out. Ball is out.
And Dupree
Advantage.
knock it forward. So there I have it. TJ Ioane. Lilo.
Clean out was good. Win it on.
Yeah, that was quite a clean out by Ioane.
That one wasn't. Use an arm, please.
Referee just saying no attempt to use the arm and bind in the clear out, just a shoulder charge.
Yeah, of course.
Du
Number 4,
Plessis
just going in, not attempting
struggling
to bind.
back near where the initial scrum was.
What number is it? Do you know what it is? Okay. Just 1 second.
The hospital doctor
Yeah, time out, please.
requiring attention.
Just in this break, just pick up on the
Number 6
turnover by
was
Khan
perfect.
Foto
He came in,
Alihi
cleared
that
out
was
before, just gone in the other, even
superb,
attempted to
beaten
put it
by
on.
his
Just make
opposite
sure.
number to the ball that spilled out of the scrum. He's like having an extra back rower in your team, Foto Alihi, always there to plug the gaps around the breakdown if there is a hole that you've not defended, and so quick to attack the opposition scrum half, and they're able to stay on his feet, rip the ball back and create an attacking opportunity for Samoa.
Well, you will be aware, I'm sure, that the rugby keeps on coming on ITV today. Hard on the heels of this match, we're off to Twickenham for England against Wales from 7:15, and there will be highlights of all 3 of today's games on ITV at 11:35 tonight.
Oh, there you can just see, does the splits, Du Plessis, and as the Samoan front row come round in the spinning scrum, they just land on the outside.
You okay?
Very easy to injure your medial ligaments on the inside of the knee.
Okay, we'll keep going then.
Medics seem to think it's just a strain, and he
No
can
attempt to bind.
carry on and see if he can manage to complete the game, but it would be a big loss for the Springboks.
Sort of self-diagnosis by the qualified medic.
Game on.
Platform here for South Africa. We just mentioned England-Wales, and it would be remiss of me not to turn to you and ask you what you're expecting this evening.
I genuinely think that it's going to be the best atmosphere we've ever had at Twickenham.
Stay 10, fellas, stay 10.
Wales are coming here. I think they'll be delighted that everyone's been talking about England.
Here's Scott Berger to Damien Dialende. Quickly to Ntawawira. Freud de Print. Adrian Strauss.
Man off the ball. One blue, thanks, mate.
Willie LaRue looking for Peterson on the far side, and just a tad too much weight on the kick.
Number one tackled the man without the ball.
However, it was a shot to nothing.
Yeah, LaRue knew the penalty was coming. Often really wise to play the play on the first phase, try the more extravagant option on the first phase. If you go through a couple more phases, you run the risk of losing the advantage. So just stick the ball up there and let Peterson have a go against quite a small fullback Williams, Nanai Williams.
Zach, I know that's what you thought, but he didn't, and so that's got to be a penalty.
Straight up, little chip over the top. It's actually excellent defence from, I think it was PC on the wing, on the wrong wing, who'd gone across to cover, and he actually called Williams over, said, I need to go up in the defensive line, I can't hang back for the kick, and he pulled the fullback over, and he was there to cover, and perhaps just needed LaRue to put a little bit more on it than he would have wanted to.
A third successful penalty kick for Andre Pollard.
Thank you.
And on a day when the eyes of the nation back home are fixed very firmly on the Springboks, any signs of ongoing fragility or weakness, so far they're standing up to the not inconsiderable challenge posed by Samoa. Short kick-off by Stanley, fielded by Berger.
It's okay, first man. Tackle only, just give a little.
Dupria. LaRue.
5 from 3. Yep.
NPC.
Bring them on, bring them on.
Williams.
Yep.
Dupria. Berger. Now Pollard. Foto Ali across to cover and to clear. Taken nonchalantly by Dupria. LaRue. The bounce. That's what he was looking for. He didn't get to bounce. Nanai Williams sorted that. Trevor Arness. Nanai Williams. Out the side to Ioane. And now Lilo. Didn't have players outside him. South Africa have the ball back. Dupria.
Sensible option from Dupria. No Nanai Williams back. PC has to cover.
And now he tries to turn cover into counter. He runs into Etzebeth, and he'll know about that.
And use it!
NPC. Sides did meet at the last Rugby World Cup at North Harbour Stadium in Auckland. 13-5 victory for South Africa. Samoa derailed when their fullback Paul Williams was sent off that day.
Yep. Yeah, good fellas.
Dupria. His third World Cup.
Yeah, he went too long and then he came off the ball. No, 6! 6!
It's that hooked kick. Nanai Williams.
The standout performances for the Samoans. That's one of them. Nanai Williams, electric in attack.
Yeah, of course you can.
Ioane in defence as well. They're really leading the challenge.
Nice lifting 6 at the breakdown. No creep around the side, perfect. No, you responded, perfect.
Here's Nanai Williams' break. Little chip, just shows a little bit too much to his opposite number. Manages to break out of the despairing challenges and then get the offload away as well, tying in 2 extra defenders. The offloading's good. There was an overlap on the outside, but Jean de Villiers used all his experience just to come up and close off that option. Otherwise, South Africa could have been in real trouble.
Matfield. Matfield has the ball. Dupria, Dialende, finding space where none seemed likely to exist. Berger, Pollard, almost scragged by Lilo, whose radar had located him. Matfield, Jean de Villiers, Leroux out the side door to Brian Habana. Now Fleury Dupria, Villy Leroux, and Jean de Villiers, but the flag is up. Celebrations are not going to last very long.
Well, Leroux just asking JP Doyle, the referee's assistant in picture there, just go and have a look at the TMO, because I'm pretty sure I got that in field. Scott Berger now asking Wayne Barnes the same question. Are his feet up? No, the foot's planted down. JP Doyle spot on. And thankfully, we don't have to waste any time going to the TMO. The officials have trusted themselves.
Positively old-fashioned, Ben.
We'll get you in.
Just brilliant hands there, and the step straight back in from Habana. Good, quick, recycled ball. And the dart down the blind side, good offload. And if he could have just got it at the first attempt, brilliant backing up from that man, Jean de Villiers. And the quality of the pass, albeit from an in-touch position from that man, to lift it up into the space, invite his captain to run onto it.
Jean de Villiers in an unwanted spotlight this week. Seemed at one point, Ben, that he was heading for Leicester.
There were the rumours. I think Leicester would have chased him very hard, obviously with the experience he's got. Anthony Allen retiring from his role at the club at the end of the season.
Etzebeth manages to grab hold of what should have been Samoan line-out ball, but a penalty for Samoa.
Thank you very much. Hook the arm. Second row, not you. On the 50.
To Matfield, accused of pulling the arm down.
Yeah, that's why we get the
Man in
penalty.
the air.
It's clear like that. If they steal the ball, obviously it's different, but he took the arm and stole the ball from that.
Habana to Leroux, to Berger. Dialende. He takes a bit of stopping.
Don't go in there, thank you.
Villy Leroux. Eben Etzebeth, giant of a man. 6'9" of him.
Look at all those blue shirts he tied in, but he didn't release the ball when he was on the floor. Wayne Barnes penalises him. It was good decision-making for him not to just shovel on the ball. He tried to tie in those blue shirts by going straight himself, but just needed to let go of the ball on the floor before he went again. Straightens up, he thinks about going outside. No, I'll bring in 1, 2.
Line's yours, fellas.
He'll say he wasn't held on the floor. He was just lent on by a man who'd fallen with him.
Fellas, who's in? 5, fellas.
Tackle on the penalty coming here for Samoa. It's the tap and go by Fosu Ali. Ken Piesing. Ioane. Some of the momentum has gone, but now Williams did well to scoop it off the floor. Tuilangi. Centres Johnston. Nanai Williams. Backwards by JP Peterson and shoveled into touch by Leroux.
Yeah, let's see what they do. You can have a scrum or a line, fellas.
It's one of the more adventurous fullbacks in World Rugby in opposition today, but one of them stricken down for the time being. Nanai Williams.
You can have a scrum or a line out. Line out. Line out taken, fellas.
Took a heavy fall, didn't he, as he went up for the ball. Two South African players collided into him from either side. One landing on top of him on that rib cage.
Thank you very much.
Stephen Beetham, coach of Samoa, took the job in rather strange circumstances. By default, really, they appointed an Australian, Adrian Thompson, announced it, and then suddenly decided he didn't want to live in Samoa, which was one of the conditions of taking the job. And so Stephen Beetham got it instead.
How are we looking, fellas? Are you okay? Okay. No worries. Line out, fellas, they've taken.
Just what you need from your physio, isn't it? And the referee says, is he all right? Okay. He's just winded, as though he's being a wimp.
It's going to be 6 man. Yeah, 6 man.
Is this following the pattern you expected, Ben?
I think it's a bit more open than I expected, particularly when I saw that initial drive from South Africa. I thought they might tighten the game up, and as we see Samoa have a go at the driving game. But South Africa have been just as adventurous at times as the men in blue.
Penalty is South Africa's. Causes a minor conflagration.
Fellas, I don't need you. 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 Go with your captain. Just give, fellas, he's going to be treated, so we're going to take a second. Just go away a second.
Yes. So unnecessary, just having another dig in that provoked the incident.
Yeah. Okay.
A little bit of a neck grab there from Ioane, and the player comes in over the top. A little bit of a slap as well. Let's see what the referee's got to say.
Don't need you. No, I really don't need you. No. Fellas, there's going to be a turnover. We can come in and have another go at a player. You're one of the senior players. No, just listen. You're one of the senior players, so you can't come in and escalate this, okay? So the penalty's against him. No, we don't need to look at it. No, we can't look at that. What we can look at foul play, but we've dealt with it, as you know, okay? Penalty against you.
Good refereeing, isn't it? Really good explanation. Everyone fired up. I think probably Wayne Barnes was expecting he might have to be a bit sterner earlier on in the game when he saw how important this game was going to be to both sides.
I think as a criminal barrister, he's probably used to presenting an argument from which there is no comeback.
It's Etzebeth, and here comes Tuolangi, just using that shoulder, and then he gets a bit excited. Etzebeth, known as Blackies Bota's replacement as the enforcer in the Springboks team.
You know he's in.
Gill wants a word. Gill takes down off the top for Dupree. Scott Berger. Pollard inside. Moving on the burst was Peterson. Strauss.
It's outstanding defence from the Samoans. The South Africans trying to get them to bite out of the line and create a hole on the inside.
Etzebeth assisting de Villiers over the 22. Francois Lowe. Dupree. Pollard. Berger. Dialende. Shown himself to be elusive. Leroux. Throws the interception pass, but it was to Census Johnston. Feveranas. To Ali. Gathered in by Leroux.
Bring them on.
Samoa's captain.
Absolutely right, Wayne Barnes.
You're fine, you're competing, you've just gone straight off your feet.
First man's okay, second man comes in and knocks them both off their feet.
Just on the 15, okay.
Penalties apiece.
Just saying, certain players on the field, PC for example, Habana, Peterson, you get an interception that far out, it's the thing of dreams.
I don't expect that from you.
Census Johnson, I presume, would have nightmares about getting an interception that far out.
The others would slip through their automatic gears. I think he's very much a manual gearbox man.
6. Hold on, fellas. Who's in? You got 2-9. Go 10, please.
Important intervention, though. And as a result, Samoa get this good attacking line out on the halfway line. You can see Atui just trying to open up the line, get those big South African defenders away. They're going into the line to try and close it, and it goes exactly where Victor Matfield wanted it to.
Pollard.
There you go, that blue one. Thank you.
Leroux. Strauss to Habana. Pollard. Berger. Francois Lowe.
Tackle all the way!
Pollard with the boot this time. Peterson off in pursuit.
Competition!
Fair competition, says the referee. Dielende.
And you come 6, good work, and back feet.
Lowe.
No 3, no 3, back you go. 3, take a step. Take a step, 3.
Pollard. Scott Berger. Tawarira. And now Matfield. Habana picks up and runs straight towards that line. Takes 2 to haul him down. South Africa 5 metres out.
15 was a tackle.
Scrappy ball though. Pollard. Etzebeth. Skulkberger stands up, and the first tackle succumbs to the second. Strauss.
Yes, incidental offside, first penalty. Here. Number 5, offside. Number 5, it's here, it's not over there. There's your mark if you want. No,
Joe Takori penalised.
Heineken Meyer be feeling more and more confident as the game goes on. South Africa's ability to deal with some of the open play exchanges Samoa have got, but then to go through the phases themselves, make good decisions. Great pick-up by Habana. Everyone thinks he's just a sleek runner on the outside, but he's such a powerful guy. Enormous upper body strength to match that speed down below. And then Scott Berger showing he can bounce off the big collisions as well.
Pollard takes his own tally to 12 points, and South Africa's lead to 11.
Kick-off an important one for Samoa now. Last opportunity to turn the ball over and get an attacking opportunity. They don't want to kick over the big men and allow them to set up the maul, as we've seen South Africa perfectly capable of doing, but they're going to go long and try and bank on a mistake.
Vermeulen, and his first test in just under a year after neck surgery. Scott Berger. Priya to Leroux.
Oh, touched.
It's touched in flight.
Green ball.
With South Africa's line out.
Got a touch.
Just a discussion going on between LaRue, the fullback, and Victor Matfield.
Full line,
I
fellas.
think LaRue probably saying we want one last attack at these guys. Matfield saying no. We want to go into the sheds thinking we're totally on top in the driving play and to give ourselves a psychological domination over this team.
Francois Lowe taking care of the ball.
Ball is available.
Box kick coming.
Delivered by Dupré. Tapped back by Berger, juggled by Dialende, handled by Pollard. Jean de Villiers.
Just.
For Dupré.
Don't hold, just hold that.
Damien Dialende. Dying moments of the first half. It's gone pretty well from South Africa's point of view. Etzebeth. Using those mighty levers. But a Samoan penalty results.
First man now, straight on the ball. Not for me, not for me.
Give away the penalty, the Springboks, but Samoa going quickly, trying one last shot at getting the score a little bit closer at half-time.
Oh, Tuilagi angered by that. Out came the arm of J.P. Peterson.
Anything more?
For me, number 14 stuck an arm out as the player's running through.
Okay, so deliberate act.
Yeah.
Are we talking yellow card?
I think so.
Okay, do you want to check?
Yeah, I think we should just have a...
Okay,
I think they've got that spot on. They're going to check. They want to give a yellow card. Not because it's
coming up.
not because it's extremely dangerous, purely because it was a deliberate act to stop Alassana Tuilagi, a professional foul.
Could be. South Africa will begin the second half deprived of a man.
The problem Peterson's got is because Tuilangi's so powerful and wins that weight battle, he's got to go up hard on the man. He can't afford...
Okay, but just... If you want us to go through... No, you're getting the penalty. You're getting the penalty. You're getting... No, just listen. You're going to get the penalty, but don't go down that easy. Penalty against you in 15.
Wayne Barnes just telling Alassana Tuilangi that he thinks he went down a little bit too easily. The problem that man has, he's got to go up hard on Tuilangi because he can't afford Tuilangi to get the ball, get a head of steam running at him. So he commits hard, realises the chip's coming, tries to jump to block it. And when he realises he's been done, he just puts an arm out. And due to Alassana Tuilangi's theatrics, it's just a penalty.
Oh, goodness. This is fun. They've been told they have no time to put the ball into touch for a line-out. So Mike Stanley is going to attempt a penalty from somewhere adjacent to Sutton Coldfield.
Paul Thorburn-esque, isn't it?
Well, he kicked one from 55 metres in the Pacific Nations Cup.
If he gets this, there will be clubs banging at his door after this game, trying to get his signature.
Even though he threw that interception pass.
Needs a decent chase from Samoa as well.
It's a border on the extraordinary if he lands this. He won't. Gave up fairly early on in its flight. And that will be half-time. Peterson stayed on when there was that question possibly of a yellow card. So it will be 15 against 15 at the start of the second half, and it's still a contest. Ben Kay, your thoughts on this first period?
I think Heineke Meyer will be really happy, particularly towards the end of that half, how his team were able to bounce off that initial explosive hit from Samoa, but then keep their leg drive going, get the momentum, and then be able to play phases off that. Really impressive from South Africa.
4 Pollard penalties and a Peterson try. 2 Mike Stanley penalties for Samoa. At one stage, the Samoans led by 6 points to 3. We will get the thoughts of Francois Pienaar, George Gregan and Sean Fitzpatrick shortly. But at half-time here at Villa Park, it's South Africa 17, Samoa 6.
Get right to the heart of the action with ITV's Rugby World Cup app. We're giving you the chance to play along during every match. Are you the next Johnny Wilkinson or Dan Carter? Take kicks from the same position as they happened live on the pitch. Have your say and vote on key moments. Keep up with the latest stats, news and highlights. Play your part. Download the app for free now.
Yes, please do get involved. A proper celebration of World Rugby here in Villa Park. Jerseys from all around the globe in the crowd of 42,000. But it's the South Africans who look the most nervous. And if it wasn't for an intercept try from JP Peterson, it would be an awful lot tighter. But they currently lead Samoa 17 points to 6. Ben Kay and John Champion will talk you through the second.
Craig, you mentioned jerseys in the crowd. One is missing today. You think this time last week South African supporters were wandering bewildered through the streets of Brighton? Well, one fan was so fed up after the defeat by Japan, he put his shirt up for sale online. The billing for potential purchasers read, "My shirt could be used as a doormat because Argentina and Japan have walked all over us." Well, things are looking slightly sunnier now. But Samoa is certainly not here just to be brushed aside. They have presented a formidable physical challenge and will presumably continue so to do. Just one historical statistical footnote: South Africa have never lost an international rugby match with a lead of this size at half-time. Mike Stanley to get the second half underway.
It's interesting to see the South Africans, the major proponents of a single lift at the kickoff, has produced some interesting results when Mitawarira has lifted a man who's been leaning back and he's ended up facing the ground. No one quite sure whether they can tackle him or not.
Well, Heineke looked like a man who had the weight of the world on his shoulders prior to kickoff.
6.
Stephen Beetham, generally a fairly relaxed character.
Samoa shortened to a 6-man line out. Trevor Aines stood out again. We've seen him go in once and come back out with the ball pretty quickly on a peel. They might drive this time if they can win the ball. They can't.
Well, it's a similar pattern to the first half where South Africa had a lot of success in intercepting the Samoan line-out ball. Through de Prier. Scott Berger. Andre Pollard. Etzebeth. Out the side to de Villiers. De Villiers to Habana. Habana to Billy Leroux. It's a race to the line. Billy Leroux can't gather it in. And Tawarira is there, but the ball was knocked forward.
Just slightly checked. I think that's what De Vries is asking Wayne Barnes.
To check things, so you've lost credibility, haven't you? Knock on, scrum.
Nanai Williams just doing enough on his opposite number to check his progress. Brilliant opening from Etzebeth. He's having a big game. And then the ball back inside. Look at that offload. Blind, over the head. Reverse slam dunk. And then they just needed the ball to sit down a little bit earlier, and it would have been perfect.
Thank you.
But it was the little check on Nanai Williams.
Okay, let's go. Everyone.
And the man who's quite often quite calm is living every moment of this.
was taught.
Crouch! Bind! Set! Number 3 went straight across and straight down. Number 3.
Number 3 is Yanni
Number
Duplessis.
3, straight to the floor, straight across. Just where that mark is at.
It's a good outcome for Samoa.
That's not.
Far from it. Leroux. Samoa inviting difficulties.
That's why Lower asking for the ball. Berger's going to latch on and try and drive him through the contact.
Pollard. That's of interest to Peterson. Nanai Williams. Little juggle.
Sorry, I didn't see him. I didn't see him. I didn't hear him. There you go.
It's an obvious tactic of the Springboks, with Nanai Williams being so small, to pepper him with high balls, with Peterson so good in the air chasing. Alassana Tuolangi doing a brilliant job of looking like he was running back to field the ball himself and just shepherding Peterson off the ball. Just watch him here, Tuolangi, just run across the line, eyes on the ball. I'm going for, oh, what's going, I've got a nudge in the back, I wasn't expecting that. Of course you weren't, Alassana. Brilliant play, good support. I'm sure Nanai Williams would have appreciated it.
That's entry, mate, yeah.
Strauss.
Entry, 5.
What's that I hear?
If you end up there, just come
Not a bad appetizer for what the people singing that song will be wanting to watch later on. They've been treated to an absolutely brilliant World Cup battle today already.
As they land, don't step off. As they land.
Matfield. The ball with Lowe. Dupria. Dialende. Dupria darting and then passing to Strauss.
Tackle good.
Berger. Etzebeth. Vermeulen. Penalty, South Africa.
Okay, but you've caused a turnover. 7 good, but 2 calls a turnover.
Samoa just need to be a little bit careful. Those penalties at the breakdown starting to rack up a little bit now. Not going to lose anyone to the bin.
Captain,
South
please.
Africa looking controlled. Their drive not backwards from the line out, but still they managed to get on the front foot. And they want another go at the drive.
One stop, please. Number 5. No, 1 second. Let's just get 5 off. Replacement. Yeah, go on, Tim.
Philippe Levave.
No, but he didn't roll away and he stopped.
Replacing Joe Takori.
Yeah, so your first man.
For Samoa.
We'll just get this replacement going. Hold on. Got too many men on the pitch. 6 man. 6 man. Good. Same again, fellas, as they land.
South Africa.
Watch on.
Perfect in the line-out against Japan. They have been so far today.
They just need to get the ball at the back. They've got that now. They're in good position. Penalty coming.
Dupria. Pollard. Dupria darting one way then the other, repelled a metre or so from the line. Still an advantage here. Umtawawira. Damien Dialende. Step off the left foot. Dupria. It's De Villiers. It's Peterson for his second. quickly through the hands. Peterson claims his 20th international try.
A brilliant understanding from the Springboks, made by Billy LaRue. He spotted the opportunity, came round from the blind side. Here's the initial drive. Samoa have to give away the penalty. They've got the advantage. South Africa know they can gamble. They head towards the sticks. Again, tie in more defenders and look at the work rate of those green shirts round the corner. But LaRue called for it. He stood behind Strauss. Strauss knew he was there. He went forward, committed the defenders. An excellent handling. He's trying to maintain his control, isn't he?
I think he can be forgiven the odd fist pump after the week he's had. Andre Pollard. He's given that every chance.
Just the work of Strauss and LaRue, the communication, the unselfish act from the hooker to go forward from the attacking line and create that little bit of room. And that was all that LaRue needed to send it straight through his hands. Sharp on the outside. South Africa starting to tick nicely.
Stanley with the restart. Beneath it, Duprea.
Out forwards.
94% possession in the second half for South Africa. Rare Samoan ball to Ilangi. Ali of Northampton. Stanley. Ioane. South Africa thought they had a sniff of a turnover, but instead it's a Samoan penalty.
You were fine. You were fine. He pulled you to the floor, but then the next man in played the 9.
I'll say as well that the strength that South Africa have on their bench, few eyebrows raised by the number of changes to the starting team, but it does give them huge experience off the bench and also some star players. Jesse Creel's now on. Scott Britt's exactly the sort of game he loves when it opens up. He can use that footwork of his.
Stanley. Set it off way right, and it stayed there.
22.
Visitors from the Scotland camp watching on.
Just
Scotland have to face these two the next 2 Saturdays. De Villiers, Jesse Creel. All into touch.
Got to say, the work of Ioane in defence has been so impressive. 15 tackles in this game, and they've all been big hits.
2 and 3 blue. Number 2 and number 3.
Just taking the eyes off the ball and then quick movement. Samoa try and fly out of the line for the big hit, but there's the big number 6, Ioane, running across the field, dragging his man out into touch.
Ioane responsible for 20% of Samoa's total tackles today.
Just get these replacements. I know you like me to look after the lineup, so just so you know that wasn't a bad to remember that.
Census Johnston is going off for Samoa. Perenise is on.
You okay? 4 man. Hold on. Who's in, fellas? 4 man.
And a change at hooker too. Abe replacing Matu'u.
Okay, watch on.
Abe, who started the game against the USA. Hasn't ended the line-up problems for Samoa though.
Just out, no, they're good.
Far from straightforward.
Don't go in the side.
Foto Ali.
Nice option, thank you.
In by Duplessis for a moment, but Samoa have it back.
Yeah, I agree.
Foto Ali. Slevave.
Well clear, number 5.
Good decision from Wayne Barnes. Picked him upfield, no effort to move away. Tried to just buy his support players a fraction of a second so they could get on the ball by lying there, but they trapped him in. It's a good carry, the leg drive's good. Matfield just lying on top there, needs to go straight away. And allows Lemuelin and Francois Lowe to get on the ball.
So Mike Stanley is going to have another go. Again, well off target. What is Samoa's best bet?
They want the game to be as open as possible. The likes of Nanai Williams and
number 10, did you say?
I think there's centres involved as well. The big ball carriers they've just brought on, Perenise. The more structured it is, the more it's playing into South Africa's hands.
Just get your 3 off and then we're good to go. Just 1 second. It's a long walk through.
Comes Malherbe. He's replaced Yannick Duplessis for South Africa. Also change at fly half for Samoa. Etzebeth.
It's accidental, fellas. It's accidental. Just gone into his own man. Totally accidental.
Accidental offside. He'd always win the best turned out award, Heineken Meyer.
New front row, just take our time, patience. Take our time and
Peterson
patience.
showing his prowess in the air, coming from the blind spot.
There we are then. Okay, let's go, fellas. Oh, sorry. Watch this stuff.
Lilo, not sure he was coming, thought he could stay on the ground. He climbs high. And then immediately as he's landing, he's looking for the option to offload to. Unfortunately, the 2 stood together. They got in each other's way.
Looks like Victor Matfield is leading the fray. At the end of cap number 125, extending his own Springbok record. And here comes Luke Diaga. And Matfield's getting quite a reception from the South African supporters inside Villa Park.
Well, every time that Samoa have got a slight foothold in the game, they've got a penalty or kick to the corner, and Matfield and his line-out charges have disrupted the ball and stopped any danger at source.
All that. Thanks, fellas.
Who retired nearly 4 years ago after the last World Cup and was tempted back January of last year.
Watch out for these 2. Crouch. Bind. Okay. Let's do it again. Just getting used to each other's shirts. Shoulders, loose ends. Shoulder. Crouch. Bind. Set. Okay, watch up a second. We're going to get you a bit closer, so we're both hitting a bit higher. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. And please get your balance. Okay, don't bind too early. Get your balance. Okay, little closer.
A lot of substitutions in the front row can cause a little bit of instability as players get used to the new faces and their new scrummaging styles.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Chevrones to Poto Ali. Lilo. Tuolangi.
Oh.
Ran straight into Jesse Creel, who dealt with him.
Was an absolutely brilliant move from Samoa. It worked perfectly, and then Tuolangi didn't give the last pass. He had the man on his shoulder. They'd tied in the last defender. Would have created a 2-on-1 on the outside, and he decided he'd carry himself. Look at this, Tuolangi starts on the inside, he tracks now, that goes.
Okay, fellas, let's go.
Could well have been a try. 3-on-2 on the outside, with acres and acres to run into for Tusi-Pisi.
Okay, 9. You know. Okay, let's place, fellas, let's go.
Well, another of those that represents the next generation, along with Andre Pollard for South Africa, older than 21 years of age.
Bind. Set.
There goes South Africa. Corey de Creel. Creel. Inside to Peterson. Support from de Villiers. Skulkberger. Dwayne Vermeulen. Now it's Iaga. Quick ball. Pollard. Vinny Leroux. Habana towards the corner.
What a tackle in the corner. It was Ken Pisi that put his body on the line. We mentioned his power before. Great hands, swift hands. Samoa can't go forward with their traditional line speed, but just gets chest on chest. Keeps the grip and pulls his man into touch. All made, though, from South Africa's domination at the scrum, because that work rate that Samoa had to put in meant that all their front five were slow into midfield, and it meant they couldn't go forward. They've been going forward all game to make the big hits. Everything was negative. They were having to drift back, and South Africa go up through the gears and causing real problems.
Abe right over the top, and the ball is spilt. South Africa have it with de Creel. Pollard, almost. De Creel, Skulkberger! Like a giant oak, toppling over the line. Third try for the Springboks.
And you know exactly what Heineke Meyer wants. He wants the full set, he wants 4 tries. And that man, ability to ride the initial tackle, not panic, make late decisions. It's a poor throw. They're trying to avoid going where the heat is at the line-out itself. They come around the corner, brilliant carry to get over the gain line. Now Samoa having to come around the corner and go backwards before they go forwards. And he doesn't panic, he plants that left foot and extends the hips out to get himself over the line.
Oh, vicarious pleasure and relief for a coach who's been under the cosh all week, and in fact for much of the last 3 months, if you include the Awful performances in the Rugby Championship, in terms of results at least. Pollard. No extra points this time. Scott Berger's 15th try for South Africa.
Again, it's the work of the other two players unselfishly alongside him. Etzebeth and Strauss running brilliant lines, which means that usually close in around a breakdown as a defender, you want to make a double tackle, even three players going in. They can't do that in case the ball goes to the players on the outside. And it's Berger who takes the benefit.
LaRue.
Yeah.
Good throw. TCPC.
That is not going to tackle.
South African arm.
He's not on in the tackle, scrum Google.
Okay, Samoan put in. He seems happy to be alone with his thoughts and his microphone.
Strange injury that, wasn't it? Just maybe a nerve impingement or something. It was as he swung his arm that caught the ball. He went down immediately.
Okay. I just thought you were putting your arm, stay tight.
Was it his knee? Obviously had huge problems with his knee.
I'll look at that as well, but you've got to work
6 knee operations, Sean de Villiers.
Well, I'm hoping that it's knee on knee, and it's just a bruise rather than a twist. Can't see properly from that angle, but...
Thanks, Lois.
He's up and moving with a degree of freedom that bodes well.
You've got to balance better. You're binding when I say crouch. Just get
9th cap, skipper for the 37th time.
Yeah, thanks. You come up with your... Thanks.
Franz Malherb's made a difference since he's come on at tight head.
Middle come, shoulders will come, both loose heads.
Really driving forward and into replacement hooker Avai.
Crouch.
Splitting
Bind.
Samoa's loose head and hooker apart.
Set.
Look at that body shape, hips low. And again, just gets that initial shunt and puts the number 8 on the back foot.
Alassana Tuilangi. Foto Ali. TJ Ioane.
Just.
Paul Perez. That's a horrid pass to have to take.
And now release on the floor.
Chapman managed it. Mubabe. TCPC. Nanai Williams. Now can he strut his stuff? The chip, the chase, the regather, the pass to Foto Ali. TCPC scores the try. And even the South Africans stand as one to salute Samoa there. Now they are going to go upstairs.
We're looking at the last but one pass.
The last but one pass is the focus.
Check the last pass.
Oh, it wouldn't be a shame if that wasn't allowed to count.
Oh, wouldn't it just? Nanai Williams. Unbelievable game he's had. Let's have a look. That one's okay. Is it this one they're looking at? I know it's the first one. That's fine for me. He's just falling away from the pass. If you fall away from the pass and the pass still goes straight, it cons the eye into thinking the ball's going forward. Look how he falls back towards his own posts.
Clearly traveled.
Look at the line on the pitch. The line on the grass clippings shows it was dead straight. Nothing wrong with that.
I think that's forward, Barnsley, on that one. Yeah, he's in front of him there.
No, but the ball travels forward, is that what you're saying? Not that he stood in front of him.
Yeah, that one, yeah.
Okay, just show me once more.
Do you want it again?
Look at the stripe in the grass.
Here it comes.
Thank you. So we're looking here.
Maybe it does. God, it's so tight, isn't it?
And that's what we're saying forward. Usually,
Might be a better angle.
See that one? There.
That's the one.
That's
Thank you
the
very
better
much.
angle, isn't it? Which looks more forward.
Okay.
Shame.
Maybe we were all just desperate for one of the star tries to be awarded. Not overly popular within Villa Park.
It was a lovely moment to see the South African fans on their feet applauding Samoa's sparkling try, as we thought it was at the time.
22 blue captain, thank you.
Good work between TMO and referee, though. It was a tight call. It took their time. It's been such a lot of calls for the TMO process to be sped up, but look at this. Latches onto loose ball, pulls in the last defender. Chit, he gets tugged back slightly, but keeps his balance. Foto Ali, he just couldn't put the brakes on enough to stay in behind.
Watch on, please.
What might have been.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Vaitu Elangi has replaced the Samoan skipper Trevoranis.
Okay,
he becomes the fifth of the 6 Tuilangi brothers to play at the Rugby World Cup. Only poor old Andy has missed out.
Just both come up a little bit this side. A bit higher. Stay flat.
Two CPC's joyous moment.
Gaps, please.
Cut short. Next for Samoa, it's Japan at Milton Keynes next Saturday.
Shortened line out for Samoa. They've got Tuilangi and Ioane out, ready to carry in midfield, but they've got to secure this ball first. It's been the bane of their problems in this match.
The boot of Dupre. NPC retreating.
Knew him when he was a mere slip of a lad.
He never was.
20 stone. Now about 25.
Just replacement. Hold on, you're just making a
Actually started in the backs. I've seen him playing at Leicester and then Sale Sharks. Now plays in France at number 8.
Change on the loose head for Samoa. Habana. Berger. Strauss. Drag. De Villiers to Creel. Scott Berger. Adrian Strauss. Andre Pollard. De Villiers. Tipped on by Leroux to the hands of Creel. Brian Habana. Bounces off one, skips inside another, eventually succumbs.
I agree.
Leroux from his bootlaces. Creel up to the 22. Etzebeth. Pollard. Strauss. South Africa seeking a bonus point try.
So no. First one, holding on.
Countering efficiently.
Didn't get the ball clearly. 19 on his feet.
It's 13 penalties against South Africa now.
Fellas, watch, stop, please. 11.
Well, here comes a moment of Rugby World Cup history. George Peacey
Just make replacements and then we'll get it.
is coming on, which means that for the first time ever, 3 brothers are playing for the same team at the Rugby World Cup. George, Tusi and Ken, together in the Samoan cause.
Perez has gone and taken Tuolangi's place on the wing.
That's a tackle all the way!
George Peacey, outside centre.
Good work.
Now is George Peacey.
Hold. Use it!
Soto Ali. Williams. Ken Peacey. Tusi Peacey. Tackled by Creel.
Tackle!
Timnanai Williams. Paolo. Jack Lamb to Tusi Peacey.
Just stuck, weren't they, in their own 22.
Habana, Vinny the roll, not quite all the way, and there was a foot in touch, but there's an electricity where the likes of he and Habana are involved together.
Habana just couldn't recover after the kick to get back in support. Bit of a loose clearance from Samoa, and then lovely weighted kick from Habana, and he just doesn't go to the afterburners quickly enough for LaRue to throw the speculative pass in field there where he has a look.
Fellas, come off the line. 4. Watch on.
With how the Samoan lineouts suffered, it's hearts and mouth time at the moment.
It is. Barnes.
Sorry, replacement, you right?
Not happy because a replacement was in the process of coming onto the pitch.
Watch stop.
Skolsberger getting quite the ovation.
Doc,
brilliant.
This is a blood substitution, is that correct?
No, this is an injury.
This is an injury, okay. It's an injury, thanks, Doc.
Referee just clarifying whether Berger might be able to return, as it's a blood injury.
Hold on. I'll give you a gap.
Or an injury.
Hold on, fellas, we're here. Half a metre, come away, all of you. Number
Berger,
4,
14 carries, 51 metres. The hard yards as well. You don't see him running out in the open spaces.
This time, Samoa managed to gather their own ball. It's been a rocky old business, their line-out today. The right boot of Tusi Peacey.
I presume 4 is going to be. Yeah. Well checked, 4, thank you.
This will be a popular addition
again,
to the South African ranks. Scott Brits making his Rugby World Cup debut today at the age of 34.
Slightly different proposition to the man he's replaced. Feet of a dancing centre.
Once. On mat to floor, number 8.
And South Africa rumbling on.
They just need to keep control.
De Villiers. Pollard. Gathered by Peterson, it wasn't the greatest pass in the world. Prayer. Etzebeth. That's Francois Lowe. Pollard. Leroux. Creel. Bodies fly in, amongst them Schalk Brits. De Preer. Leroux. De Villiers. Peterson across on the left wing at the moment.
That was a ruck.
Penalty South Africa, they try to go quickly.
Can't take it quickly in front of it.
Again, you know, 5 metres out from the line.
Samoa and then he
treading a thin line, giving away penalties when South Africa obviously have the momentum. Wouldn't be too surprised to see this ball go into the corner. Forwards just discussing what line out they might employ. Schalk Brits has got a spare ball, so they can get on with it quickly if this goes into the crowd.
Just beaten by the ruck. Same defence has been really good. As they land, go that way, it's perfect.
Judging by the line-outs we've seen, Samoa clearly haven't followed your lead in learning Afrikaans to crack the code. Brits to the Yaga.
Brits in a really comfortable position. Just look how long that is. Now come the backs, Havana adding his weight. Brits so controlled, will dart to the line.
Special moment for Schalk Brits. Recently off the bench, his first international try, and a Springbok bonus point.
Well, you just can't let a team like South Africa get set up, and at times Samoa have defended the line out, but at other times South Africa have looked unstoppable in this aspect. And just such a comfortable armchair ride for Schalk Brits. Look how easily they set it up. They're into position first. The ball's far enough away, there's no danger of a blue shirt getting to Brits. He's controlled, he's low, the work of Vermeulen at the front. And then Brits sees the line and just shifts the shoulder down towards it.
Andre Pollard. He's not had the best of days kicking.
Just look at Brits controlling it, just telling his players not to get carried away, don't rush too fast. He felt comfortable.
Just replacing that captain, and then we'll get
Suddenly, 7 points from your first 2 games doesn't sound quite as bad, does it?
Just 2 bonus points in defeat against Japan, helped their cause. Sean de Villiers is going off, and he must feel a whole lot better about his world right now. Brits. Patrick Lamy is on for South Africa and has the ball now. Vermeulen. Pollard. Leroux. Creel.
Doesn't he do well to stay in field when the shot was coming in to take him into touch?
Frans Malherbe. Luc de Jager. Malherbe drives on again.
Off your feet, no, 19, no.
South Africa eager for more. Leroux to Jesse Creel. Creel rather isolated. South Africa there in numbers to assist. De Jager. It's near Kane. Now Lowe. Popped up for Malherbe. De Preer, Lamy, Pollard. And now Brits. And Samoa feel that they've turned it over. They do have a penalty. Holding on.
Just be careful with it clean as well. Just be careful. 9 was on his feet.
Race between de Villiers and Matfield, 234 caps between them. South Africa's starting 15 today, their most experienced ever at a Rugby World Cup, with nearly 900 caps between them. Ruan Pinar's going to come on.
They've just grown throughout the game, haven't they? The confidence has been there, but the speed of execution at times has been right back to their best. Exactly the performance they needed. Brilliant work in at the breakdown by Photo Ali again.
And so, Ben, are there any parallels to be drawn with your experience with England in '07, where you had a setback in the pool and still went all the way to the final?
Well, we were heavily beaten by South Africa, and then we went on and we've had to still play against a team like Samoa, and the danger is that you're on a bit of a hiding to nothing, but I think South Africa have addressed their problems so much better. I think different circumstances for them. We were beaten by the side that had the belief, whereas they were beaten by minnows, but probably came as a shock to them. And actually, it's a lot better to have that in the first game of the tournament and put it right than it would have been if this had happened later on to South Africa.
As a result of last week's aberration, as perhaps we can now view it to be, they fell to their lowest ever position in the rankings, 6th. The 5th favourites with the bookmakers to win the Rugby World Cup. Brits. Etzebeth. Scotland are the next team to stand in the way of South Africa at St James's Park next Saturday. Before that, the Scots in action against the USA tomorrow at Elland Road. De Jager. Pat Lamy. Billy LaRue to Brian Habana. Pinar. And again, Ruan Pinar. Low. Vermeulen.
Don't go in, no.
Arne felt that clean out. LaRue again. Jesse Creel driven back in the tackle. Low.
Problem Samoa have now is they're not able to get their line back quickly enough. So they are getting line speed, but it's in ones and twos. Lone wolves coming out of the line, and South Africa just picking them off and finding opportunities.
LaRue with that trademark step. Here's Scott Brits. Pinar. Pollard. Francois Lowe. Pinar the other way now. Nyakane. Seems a certain inevitability. It's Etzebeth. Pinar to Brits. Lamy. 15th phase for South Africa. Maleb. It's valiant stuff from Samoa. We shouldn't be surprised. Vermeulen. Within 3 meters now. Oh, and then the ball.
First defence. Offside 23. Is that him?
Well, offside is the decision.
Offside 23.
Against George Peacey.
Okay. You've just got a replacement coming on, yeah. 9 blue as well. Replace.
South African forwards got together again, just discussing what they might do if they kick this into the corner. Well, they're going to be a little bit more adventurous and play from the tap. No, Lamy's looking towards the corner now.
Jesse Creel didn't look in a great way.
Photo Ali just leaving the field. He has had a monster game for Samoa. Put in a big hit at the end there to stop a certain try.
7, full line.
Brits. The Yaga.
Once.
Too many blue shirts facing the wrong way.
And South Africa driving on. Still held up. Now it's Lamy and Peterson in for a hat-trick. I think Wayne Barnes is going to check.
There's a just check.
They are going to the TMO.
He'll check it a touch.
Just checking your foot.
Peterson's got a smile on his face.
Brilliant from Lamy to make the call. Let's see where the feet are as this goes down. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, you won the try, Barnsley.
3 of South Africa's 5 tries scored by JP Peterson. Continuing this theme of multiple try scorers for the Springboks against Samoa. In the 1995 World Cup, Chester Williams scored 3 times against the Samoans. In Paris in 2007 at the World Cup, Brian Habana scored 4 tries. Peterson has 3 today.
I just wonder, he saw Heineke Meyer screaming down the radio, whether he thinks that this group might come down to points at some stage. He wants more. He's not done yet. Brilliant bit of play from Patrick Lamy there, just to be alert enough to come around the corner, spot that all the defence have been dragged into the maul, and there was an opportunity on this blind side.
Pat Lamy's first attempt at the post today. Just drift to the right. Well, 39-6
1 minute 20 to go.
is a margin of comfort, but not, it appears, enough for Heineke Meyer.
Just look out. South Africa roll infield. It ends up with the blue shirts facing the wrong way, and as a result, all the defence on the blind side had to step in and help. And here goes Brits.
Claymore broken now, but the ball would appear to go forward. We don't go anywhere, by the way, at the conclusion of this game, because you know what's coming next. England-Wales at Twickenham tonight. Kick-off is at 8. Coverage starts at 7:15 here on ITV. He's blowing hard, Heineke Meyer, but at least South Africa has steadied their ship. They have a basis on which to go forward, De Villiers and all, with this World Cup.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Samoan penalty. Lilo.
Thank you very much.
Jack Lamb. Oh dear.
Idiot on the field.
We have an extra Springbok shirt.
Be careful, fellas. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. Don't
Out
be
there.
silly.
An
Don't be
intruder. Who was dealt with summarily by Samoa.
Thanks, fellas. Thanks, fellas. Thanks, fellas. So we'll take a scrum. Blue in possession. The time was elapsed, but that's not the way to finish a game. John?
That's a great shame.
John, time's
At the end of what's been a super
there's no way
game.
we can finish a game like that, okay? Scrum, blue ball. Number 1's a flaw, okay? He recovered, but then he went back. Yeah.
Out of your picture, the foolish individual who ran on is being led away by stewards. Quickly, your thoughts on the game overall, Ben?
Go on, let's move.
It's been ideal for Heineke Meyer and his coaching staff to bounce back. They were challenged early on by an extremely brave Samoan side. Some of the hits that were going in, and easily a team that was lacking in belief could have crumbled under some of the pressure they were put under. And they've ridden it and had a really strong performance, and the people back home in South Africa will be delighted with the performance of their team and the reaction they've shown after their shot against Japan.
Okay.
Lilo. Paul Perez.
And we come.
Now it's Ave.
Ball gone, fellas.
I think the other thing, you can see how hard they're working. They want to nil Samoa. They don't want to concede another try. They feel that Japan ran in too easily against them. That's just as important as the number of points they've scored.
Well, it's been a resolute statement of South African pride. Stood up to the physical challenge laid down from the very start by Samoa. And they continue to do so. Tusi Pisi to Ken Pisi. South Africa have turned it over. Billy Leroux. Pienaar. Brian Habana. This is what the crowd wanted to see. Brian Habana scoots in for his 11th Rugby World Cup try. Only 2 men in history have scored more.
No thoughts of turning the ball over and ending the game. South Africa needed for themselves to go for the jugular. Sharp, sharp hands. And then when you put this man in space, no one's going to stop him. Brilliant tackle comes in. Wolf-pack mentality over the ball, and then look at these sharp hands to take out the 4-on-3. And as soon as he gets the ball, there's only going to be one result. And the roar inside Villa Park was huge.
It's one of the defining sights in World Rugby. Others trailing in the wake of Brian Habana. His 8th try against Samoa in just 4 tests. And in terms of the Rugby World Cup, the only men to stand ahead of him in the try-scoring lists are Jonah Lomu and Doug Howlett. And they may be reined in over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Lamy for the additional 2. And that will do nicely for South Africa, who have scored 6 tries. They've claimed the bonus point, and above all, they've put a smile back on the face of South African rugby after a pretty traumatic and searching week. Samoa provided a challenge, but in the end was swept aside. We'll get the views of Messrs Pienaar, Gregan and Fitzpatrick next. Full time at Villa Park is South Africa 45, Samoa 6.